Hello Alphanatics and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share with you some tips on how to avoid work pressures. Please guys, please don't forget to subscribe, press the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you will be notified in all my future vlogs. Today Alphanetics, I'm going to share with you some simple tips on how to deal or avoid work pressures. The first tip is come to work on time. I think guys, this tip is very self-explanatory and this applies to all companies either here in Dubai or in the Philippines or any countries. I think the companies will require their employees or staff to always come on time. Huwag na huwag po kayong dumating sa office na nanghuli kaysa sa boss mo. Because if you're doing this will give an idea to your boss to pressure you, to give you a lesson why you're coming late. Because if you're not coming late, meaning to say you are starting your work right, you're starting your day right. Here in the UAE or Dubai, our working hours is 8 hours. So if you come on time, meaning to say you have the full 8 hours to work. But if you're coming late, like you're late 1 hour, so you have less 1 hour to do your daily works. So if you come on time rather, this will avoid you to have work pressures. Sa aming mga OFWs dito sa Dubai in particular, it is very important to know how to deal with your work pressures, with our work pressures, especially for us here that we're working with people from different countries of different nationalities. So meaning to say we're working with people with different cultures, attitudes, beliefs and views in life, especially if your boss is not a Filipino, if your boss is a foreigner. So you really have to adjust with your boss, and somehow adjusting your boss, it will give us a little bit pressure. So the next tip is you have to work according to importance and urgency. Meaning to say, you have to distinguish which report is important and urgent for that day. If there are reports which are not important for that day, don't do it. You can do it on the later date, which is near to the deadline. But please note, don't be a deadliner, because if you waited for the deadline, that will give you so much work pressures. So for the second tip, uunahin mo lang yung mas importante at mas urgent for that day. So the third simple tip on how to avoid work pressures is to maintain periodic work schedules as to daily, weekly, and monthly. Like for example guys, for the domestic helpers, pwede mo i-schedule yung work mo. Because of course, it's not possible that you're going to have laundry every day. Hindi ka pwedeng maglalaba araw-araw. So like for example, if you're having a work schedule, i-schedule mo yung paglalaba mo every Monday, then pamamlansya naman every Wednesday, at yung paglilinis ng kusina every Thursday, at yung paglilinis ng mga kwarto o living room every Friday. at least in the full week, magagawa mo lahat ng trabaho mo as a domestic helper. I think this explains the third tip, which is you have to maintain periodic work schedules as to daily, weekly, and monthly. Same also to OFWs who are working in the offices. You can also have a schedule of your works because there are reports, for example, which can be done on a weekly basis and a monthly basis. So I think this tip is so helpful also for those OFWs who are working in the office. So guys, the fourth tip to avoid work pressures is to focus to your work or observe work mode. So meaning to say guys, once you are already at your workplace, you have to give your full attention to what you're doing or to what you are working. I know we have our personal issues, we have our personal problems, but it is not advisable to bring those issues in the workplace. So forget about this, forget about them, those are personal problems which we are bothered once we're in the office. So we need to say simply, once you're in the office, forget about other issues, focus on issues regarding your work. So the last tip to avoid work pressures is to set your goals or get motivated or inspired to do your work. I think the last tip applies to those OFWs who are working with incentives and commissions. Meaning to say, it is also advisable once you're doing your work, you have your goal. Like for example, if I'm selling a particular product, I would set a goal that I could sell this much before the month ends. Because if I can sell this much in the month end, then I could get commissions or incentives. So it would be advisable that you have your goal to do your work so that you will be inspired and get motivated to reach your target. So my dear fanatics, that would be all for today for this particular episode. Hope you have learned something on my on our topics for today on how to avoid, how to deal with work pressures. I can share also this episode. So have a nice day, fanatics, and thank you so much for staying with me. Bye!